my problems in life. Drama, strife, some things just go too wrong to be right. Not a fight, it's a war going on in my soul. Sometimes I bleed it on the pages with this pen that I hold. Then I suppose maybe tomorrow will be better than today. Said the same shit yesterday, still ain't in the better place. Hope for better days, be happy with a minute. Shit is feeling like a payback for a whole lifetime of sinning. I don't know, but it's got me feeling hopeless. Find it hard to keep my focus. Wonder why I spend my time drinking and smoking, but I gotta find a way to ease the stress. Everything just seems a mess. Everybody telling me I seem depressed. Now I'm losing my friends. They say I changed, not quite the same. They'd rather diss me than listen to me complain. Migraine, feel like my head might explode. It's just another day, I think that's just the way life goes. But I can't take this anymore. I can't take this anymore. Looking in the mirror, all I see is a face with no future. Bottom of the barrel type, natural born loser who's a underpaid, overworked dude trying to make it. Every dime I make is taken, that's exactly what I'm facing. Occupation slowly eats away these hours I'm giving. Fuck with me, all I do is try to make an honest living. When you're doing the most and getting paid the least, it ain't a whole fuck of a lot I hear you saying to me. You're playing me, see, I'm damn near making minimum wage. You try to work me to my grave, damn it, give me a break. Get out my face, stay out of my way, get off my back, you talking down to me. I hope you know you're about to get slapped. If I get access of shit, I already can't afford a stack of overdue bills and the baby I gotta support. I can't stand up for myself, feel like a modern day slave. Can't have a single thing I need, so I waste away. I can't take this anymore. I can't take this anymore. Much to handle. My life is in shambles. I feel so worthless. I'm thinking, do I have a purpose? All good on the surface, but inside it's uncertain. But there's one thing I do know, is that I can't take no more of this. I can't take this anymore. I can't take this anymore. I can't take this anymore. I can't
I know I let you down and I'm sorry for that. There's a million things that I take back. Honey, lie down, close your eyes, try to forget. We're not always gonna live like this. Check to check, month to month, hand to fist. Lie down, try to forget the things I've done. All the times I made us run. If we give up now, that'll mean they've won. Life's too long to make mistakes. Around the corners where they wait. Pain is hard to keep that bait, but remember, don't let it slip away. There's a lifetime ahead of us, just on the other side of this mess. Don't let it slip away. Hold it tight, hold it close. The worst part's over for the most. Just catch your breath. Look at the sacrifices that you've made. Makes me wonder why you've always stayed through the hard times, when it was only out of this mess. Don't let it slip away. Hold it tight, hold it close. The worst part's over for the most. Just catch your breath. Don't let it slip away. Don't let it slip away. Hold it tight, hold it close. The worst part's over for the most. Just catch your breath.
Yo, what is up?
Hey, Detroit and everybody else.
Well, yeah, we got the intro going.
Yeah.
Okay, I screwed that up. Sorry.
No, there's no screw-ups, man. There's no screw-ups.
Yes, it is.
There's only just doing it. Or
You're talking to the side, talking to the front of the mic where the words are.
just doing it. There's only just doing it.
That sounds like you're talking to the back. Are you talking to the side with the
Am I
words in
talking
it?
in it? Hold on one second. Is that better? Oh,
That's much
wow!
better.
You can now you can hear every enunciation.
Yeah, I had-
every breath behind my word.
You can really tell the difference because I had the Luckouts in on my show, Culture Vultures Radio.
Culture Vultures on Thursday nights.
9 o'clock, Raw Radio X.
Yeah.
You guys haven't even introduced yourself and your engineers
I
already.
know,
here.
exactly.
You know
Getting
what,
the
bro?
plug
You
in.
you're just a mark for that. That's cool. You know what?
He's our
I appreciate the hustle.
No, he's our sponsor.
Gotta
now.
give him that,
He has
yeah.
You are the official sponsor. So does that mean that you brought some of that official sponsor bag of medicals for today's show?
No.
Fuck, it was wishful thinking.
Well, thanks for joining us at the Razor and Danny Cake
That
Show
was the wrong
again
answer
this
for this
week.
show.
With Dirk from Culture Vultures Radio.
Stop it.
Yeah, we got
stop. So again, Razor and Danny Cakes, and we have our
Dirk.
guest.
We got Dirk, and we got our guest, Michael McShane. McShane, I want to get that right.
McShane, yep.
McShane
And Mike V.
That's right, baby.
in the house
hanging out today, and we're going to be having our buddy Jamie Lowell calling in here shortly too.
about 5:30.
You know, from Third Coast Compassion.
Third Coast
Compassion Center in
I wonder
Ypsilanti,
what
Michigan.
they do there.
Well, what they do there is they be compassionate
I like that.
towards
They show
people.
love.
They show love. Now, the kind of love that we're talking about today, folks, is a very special kind of love. It's the kind of love that celebrates nature
Smells
and
horrible.
holds in the hits. And yeah, you're not so crazy about the smell.
Should I be digging up Macklemore's
But I
one,
think-
one
I think-
Love right now or
Yeah,
something?
you know what? But why don't you get it lined up?
Yeah,
As we
I'll get
Just in
right on
case.
that.
You know,
which means
as-
I will not be getting right on that.
So we will. So the topic on hand will be very much marijuana.
Marijuana. And
All sorts
marijuana.
and all sorts of sides of it. You know, it's not where marijuana used to be just looked at as something that is like, oh man, fucking stoners, stupid, low life.
Now it's high end respectable losers who are smoking.
Exactly. Now it's high and respectable losers with jobs or with a good reason to be smoking. Now it's not to say that everybody that's smoking is really truly a loser, but you know what I'm saying is that, man, the times have changed. The discussion, the forum is now open where people are like, you know what, this isn't just a drug that this has very much positive attributes. Unlike other types of drugs, cocaine.
It's all magic
heroin.
and stuff.
It's all magic and stuff, It tastes good, it smells good, and and it's just
Okay,
things.
show of hands. Who has never smoked pot in his life?
You never?
Never.
Ever?
Never even hit a joint.
What?
Yes, and I'm this freaky. It's
Dude,
amazing.
Are
isn't
you
it?
serious?
It's that way naturally?
How do you do that? I mean, you got long hair, you got a Metallica T-shirt.
You look like one of those.
I mean, you look
I-
like
I-
a stoner,
hippie.
but you look
Yeah.
like the kind of stoner to be like, oh, I only vape.
Oh, it's very.
I mean,
On
I could see you
Tuesday.
as a U of M or at least an Eastern Michigan fucking type of
Eastern
student.
Michigan, funny. Yeah. Central.
You never even pulled the
Central or Western. Not even. So, what was that?
Never even pulled the Bill Clinton.
Didn't do the
Nope.
Bill Clinton. Didn't
No,
even
absolutely not.
Didn't. Wow.
In fact, after a certain point, it gets to be like, why start? Sort of stuff like that.
Well, if you
Yeah,
have,
exactly.
there's okay. Well, that's a
Why
good
not?
question because
Hey,
that's the forum that we're going to be having
it's like,
today.
you know,
Is the discussion. of-
Walter White doesn't smoke meth; he just makes it.
right. He just makes it and he banks on it.
Right,
But
so. No.
No, but
It's not that I judge you losers or anything.
It's not the way
We've already been judged.
them's fighting words.
It's
Them's
like,
is
I
fighting
judged you
words.
long.
It's not that I'm looking down on you, low
Yes,
life.
you are.
It's okay.
Reprobate,
Yes, you are.
junkies,
Yeah,
reefer heads, weed addicts.
Hey, man.
Snoop
which-
You know what?
Dogg.
I'm going to have to ask you
Snoop
to
Bro, you got
cut
to
all that
man.
out.
This is our show.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to have to ask you to cut all that out.
Because there's some people.
Yeah,
in
when
here
you saw
that
me
probably
pulling up, I was
should
like, "Hey,
smoke.
what are you doing here?" You know, bogging your
I'm like,
high.
oh,
That's what
I'm like, oh,
okay,
bro,
dude.
I thought you had a job.
So, fellas,
All right.
okay,
I'm sorry. Just
No, don't need to be sorry, bro.
just stop it.
Life is.
I'm getting in my
stop.
because next week I'll probably have a job and then I won't be able to interrupt and be just a total dick. Plugging my show, Culture Vultures Radio, Thursday nights at 9 on Raw Radio X.
You know, we should just stop and let him do it.
You know what we're
You
gonna
just
do?
do the show.
We
I'm just
need
gonna do a
we need to
show.
show up.
I'll
at
call
this-
McHaven.
We
Come to
need
the right show.
This is what we're gonna fucking do. We're gonna come to the
And crash his
crash
show.
their show.
That's what we're gonna
Not
do.
just
That's an idea.
once, but a few times.
We got to find their asses first. If you know, like everywhere.
yeah, you know, they're all like
everywhere.
all
We got to find their asses first.
incognito.
Okay, I'm sorry, but we digress. Continue on.
No. How you? Oh, hold on. How you gonna stop us from talking? What the
Exactly.
hell?
Hold on. Okay.
You know,
Raise the black. Raise the black.
Ooh, I better calm it down because you about to make me flip some tables up in here.
Oh, you see, and there's some reasons why some people should just medicate.
Oh,
And
so you saying
this is where,
I need to medicate?
and you know, but this is great. The conversation that we're having here is because, yeah, you got a lot of people that, you know, that do think that marijuana is, you know, to be looked down upon, losers. You know, I felt it. I've seen it.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, we have two, you know, perspectives here. One from you, sir, from Culture Vultures Radio.
What radio show is that?
What is it?
Culture
What radio
Vultures
show?
Radio.
Okay.
Culture
Now, you
Vultures.
I just
said-
want to make sure I got it.
No, okay,
No,
hold
did you
on.
get it?
You know,
Did
you
you get
said
Culture
you've-
Vultures? You
you've
got
said
that, right?
you've
Got it,
never
got it.
smoked. You
Culture
said
Vultures.
you've never smoked weed ever, so you never had a chance to try the benefits of it,
There you go.
Your
Oh,
body cannot heal itself, bro.
bro. You're
What?
Oh,
Oh my goodness, really?
why are you missing
Without
out?
it?
Why are you missing out on God's gifts?
You know,
Why?
there are a lot of God's gifts that
I
you
just-
don't need
this
to
is
take
one.
part of. Cocaine is a gift
Cocaine
from God.
is not a God's gift.
I mean, what, yeah,
I
it's
decided-
not natural.
It has to be synthesized.
Coke is not
it has
natural?
to be
Yeah, it
gone
has
through
to
a
be,
process.
yeah.
Coke is not natural.
I decided to go
Coke,
for the
the leaf?
sex and
Coke
rock.
is natural.
Cocoa
leaf,
leaves
yes.
are
Right,
natural,
okay.
and you can
Natural.
chew on that.
Then that's fine. But when you start processing it into cocaine, then it becomes a different thing.
But
You
isn't
don't have
weed
to
like
process-
processed with other things? Like you
Like
guys
what?
have all these different
Like
strains
water?
and things.
Like
No,
water
it's just
and
it's just
sun.
nature. It's just
No.
just nature at its best. I mean, that'd be the guy.
You see, this
Okay,
is,
well,
and
this is-
this is the reason that we have to have this discussion here because, like you guys and gals, there's a lot of folks that are just don't really know about it
Right.
and don't know the benefits of it, and that's what I've been trying to say here. You know, is that we really have you know, sometimes a negative look towards it.
So
because
you're
we don't
telling me
really see what the real benefits are. Is
Every
why
strain of
we're
weed
gonna
is
have-
natural.
Yeah.
I don't,
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
think so.
Yes,
How is it? How is it
absolutely.
natural? How is
can't-
every
you-
strain?
unless it's like, yeah, you can't. The only way that you can alter it is if you spray it with some shit, and people don't do that.
Well, you
I mean,
can-
there are people in the hood that I'm sure are doing it, but the real people that are really growing cannabis, like Mike's got an all natural fucking operation. There's nothing added to it that's not, that's not supposed to be there. That can't be provided by nature. You're not doing it like you're doing with cocaine. You're not creating something like meth. You can create different hybrids of plants, just like you can in nature.
And that's with pollen, really.
Yeah.
It's
you
just,
Okay.
you know,
you can
cross-pollinating with different one thing to make it into something, more to your liking, really. You're just kind of tailoring the plant to do what you want it to do.
Okay, so how long have you been smoking?
Smoking?
Uh-huh.
Since I was 15.
And how long have you been growing or
as a caregiver.
Since 2009, when the Michigan Marijuana Act went through.
Okay.
And I, like yourself, saw no, medical benefit at all, to it when I started. And like a lot of people, I looked at it as, being able to grow marijuana in my basement, which, is a good idea for a lot of people. But anyway, that was the original approach. And I also had a terrible medical history that I'd been dealing with for about 25 years, and I still didn't get it. And I finally came down with cancer again, and I tried marijuana on it, and it worked. And it worked better than chemotherapy worked for me in the past, and certainly better than surgery. So that pretty much cleared the air with me as far as what it's capable of medically.
So we put you in total Remission?
Yeah, and I've seen that with other people, with things other than cancer. But with me, it was cancer was really a major concern because I had it, and it is pretty much the holy grail of bad things to have. As far as terminal illnesses are concerned, there's an inordinate amount of money and time wasted. I'm looking for this cure, which is to me laughable at this point. That there's 5 times more cancer than there was 100 years ago, and how much money have we spent looking for the cure?
Exactly.
It's obviously going.
Even more fucked up than that is how much money have we spent trying to keep the cure from the masses.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
So in my opinion, there's no interest at all. They're just collecting funds. And using the money for other reasons, but this whole it's a fantasy. There's nobody looking for a cure at all. The pharmaceutical companies have known about the merits of cannabis for a lot longer than we have. Realistically, how does a bunch of potheads growing weed in a basement cure their own cancer? It must be pretty obvious that it works. I don't have a lab or several $1 million in research money to come up with this conclusion. It's about
Right.
You don't even have a white coat, do you?
no. I mean, you could fall into this and figure it out. So, I didn't spend any research money on this, and I found the cure to my cancer. And what we're finding is this. The endocannabinoid system, which is a part of the human body, and in effect, what I'd call a wireless management system for all the other systems that are going on in your body. It's kind of like the Wi-Fi of your body, and your body is built with these cannabinoid receptors, and the only 2 things in nature that have cannabinoids is marijuana and human mother's milk.
Wow.
So
You sure you don't have a white lab coat?
I don't.
He come from a totally different industry even than.
But I came from the paint industry, believe it or not. So the key there is mother's milk having the same thing that marijuana has in it. So there kind of lies an idea that maybe this was meant to be. When you look at, and again, I'm not a scientist, but if you looked at this cannabinoid receptor on one side, and let's say you cut it in half like a zipper or like a strain of DNA, and then you look at the marijuana component that goes with it, it's exact. It's like you broke a piece of glass and you put them back together. It couldn't be more perfect. And there again, too.
So the molecular structures, what you say in the DNA strands, are identical.
Yeah, this THC that we talk about and CBDs, these compounds that are inherent in marijuana and mother's milk, literally fit this profile of this receptor identically. And what these receptors are all about is managing your health. It's preventing cancer. It's preventing diabetes. It's literally managing your body. It's in a scientific status would be kind of like your soul, if you will. It's the behind the scenes. You can't hardly see it, but it's doing a lot more than you may be aware of. And Israeli researchers came up with this discovery in the 90s, and they've in Israel been doing quite a bit of work in regards to cannabis science, as well as Spain and a few other countries. So, but the more and historically there is no data, so because it's been suppressed, but. The only data we've got is if you're caught with marijuana, you're going to jail. That's just not workable anymore, because we now understand that it represents more than a simple question of freedom. It answers that too, but it also gives us what we lack as human beings, which is this THC and CBD compounds that are found in marijuana. So that's really what's going on with that. So
Okay, well, Detroit Jones.
GW Farm, I think that's the company, right? That's in Great Britain. That, and this kind of ties into where we get back to freedom. They've developed medications for MS. Their actual mission is oncology, cancer research. But their base that they're using and putting out there, even on their website, is cannabis.
It's all oncology directed, and they've started off with a simple spray for MS. And what they've done was strip the plant down to its essential oils, and then even further isolated some compounds from it, and put it into a spray. And for whatever reason, I don't know if it's for spasms or for pain control, but because I don't have MS, but this is something that GW Pharmaceuticals is promoting in Europe and has agreements to sell it. And by the way, GW Pharmaceuticals is really just a trade name for the biggest pharmaceutical company in the world. They own Merck and all these main names that you hear, Lilly, all that. So it's one little name under a big machine, and
the Farmco umbrella.
Yeah, and
what company is that then?
Well, GW Pharmaceutical is the one that's specifically marketing these cannabis-based medicines. That's all they do, and they've got a farm in England, and for whatever reason, they've been allowed to operate this farm and develop one strain of marijuana, which doesn't make sense from a medical standpoint, with all kinds of different people involved. But regardless, they've got one strain of marijuana that they've developed to make their product, and they're waiting for the United States to reclassify or reschedule marijuana into something that is recognized as medicinal. Did you know that the United States of America has patents in regards to the medical qualities in marijuana? They've gone after patents, which to me isn't even legal. I don't believe you can patent.
I don't know how they're pulling it off.
How can you? Exactly. How can you patent pick up a piece of shrub from the ground and say this is mine?
You know what I think they're doing though? Even if they know they can't pull it off.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean they know in the end. See, what they can do is they can string it out. Because now they're in the process of patenting this. So if somebody else tries to, then there can be a whole legal thing that can happen for another 20 fucking years.
Yeah, they'll hold it up. But anyhow, this GW company is just waiting in the wings for the U.S. market to open up, and it will. I think it'll open up in the next year. And the reason it's going to open up is because you got big pharmaceutical dollars behind it, not guys in their basement smoking marijuana. This is the real deal. This is the reason. This is the reason why marijuana is illegal. Industries such as the pharmaceutical industry and petrochemical industry are the reasons marijuana is illegal.
The medicine companies and the gas companies do not want to deal with the competition what marijuana, if legalized, would bring.
Why would they want to compete with everybody in the world when they can compete with themselves? I mean, it doesn't take a PhD in economics to look at that picture and know that you're better off running a monopoly than you are competing with everybody in the country. Anybody that can grow marijuana becomes your competitor. It's the reason why Prohibition went through back in the day, because farmers were using alcohol to run all their equipment. Well, how are you going to compete with that? Well, make it illegal. That's how. And those guys were out of work for 4 years. And then they turned their attention to marijuana and this narcotic craze that we've been dealing with for the last 85 years. And come to find out, it's America's biggest lie ever, marijuana and the marijuana story. And all the people that are sitting in jail right now is just awful. There's absolutely no reason for these nonviolent offenders to be in jail. I think they're national heroes myself. certainly great people to taking chances like they've had too, and paid the big price. I've got several of my friends sitting in jail or cases pending. These are people with marijuana cards that are legitimately have legitimate standing in the state of Michigan and should be recognized as exempt and not a situation you can prosecute for simple possessions and leaving a door open in the house, or some of these ridiculous situations that have been brought into the courts, and then the prosecutors never give up. They keep going for appeal and appeal and appeal, and you've got cases that have been dragging through Oakland County for 2 years and cost the taxpayers $1 million for weed, and the people had cards.
It's like these lawyers that, I can get overtime on this fucking gig.
Yeah.
As much overtime as I want.
Yeah, it's billable hours. It doesn't really matter what they talk about.
That's
exactly what
stack
it is.
them up.
Now, how long have you been in it? Growing or caregiver or
I've been more of a
Detroit Jones.
Yeah,
Detroit Jones in the house.
Actually, a long time ago, let me tell you a little story. I met this band in Ann Arbor. They were something, Life Sucks, Get High, some shit.
Life Sucks, Get High.
And
I heard
so I
about
was
that
hanging out with them. I was a good Christian boy then. I was a good Christian boy.
Did they corrupt you?
No, listen, I was leaving choir, and I went to see this guy, Raymond, that he was in choir with us. He took us down to the show. He said, "Come see my band. We're good. We opened up for Petra."
Wait, back up. I'm sorry. I thought I heard you say he was in choir with you.
Yeah. We were in choir together, and it was the alleyway choir, but it doesn't.
Okay.
So anyway, I ended up at the show, and after this show, this was this really crazy band. This guy Raymond, he turned into this Satan character thingy, and anyway, afterwards we ended up at this guy's place listening to Merciful Fate and smoking pot. And I never went back to choir.
Oh,
but
wow.
Actually, no, that's a lie. But actually, no, I started smoking weed when I was really young.
He did it.
I was so high. I was like, I was believing you.
No, actually, I started smoking when I was really young, and just from seeing people, I didn't grow up the way most people did, so I didn't really have somebody to really say no. I can't do that. And the people that didn't tell me no were kind of giving me good. And then I moved to Ann Arbor. And Ann Arbor, it's such an open culture to that, especially, even then, it's kind of gotten conservative now, but, so it was around, and then I learned from more people. There's so many educated people in Ann Arbor regarding this, and so I'm learning from these people, things that we're talking about now.
I'm talking about 25 years ago.
Yeah, and people thought we were just friggin' loser stoners sitting in the diet.
Out of your mind, yeah.
And you know what? For a long time I was only about freeing the weed so I could get fucking high.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And like my boy said, life sucks, you get high.
Life sucks, get high. And because it's illegal, that's another reason that life sucked.
Yeah. And now, as you learn over the years, I read a book called Cannabis.
Now I know you got something to say it. Say it.
What?
Say it.
No,
What were you about to say?
He's just
What was I gonna say
observing.
about
He was
what?
observing.
Okay.
Okay, keep on going, Mike V.
He's plotting his show. Culture vultures. And so anyway, shameless plug for you there, brother. So I read this book called Cannabis, and it's Cannabis, a History. And it basically breaks down the history of weed all the way back, way back, 5,000 years ago, in ancient Chinese medicine, its impact on Indian medicine in India, Pakistan, all throughout the Asians and the Urals, all these different places that cannabis has been used into medicine. And I'd always heard something in the Bible about, the one verse everybody uses that regarding it being from the earth and everything. But there's another thing in the Bible about when Moses came down from the mountain,
From the burning bush.
No, this is before then.
Okay.
That's another one they use too. But when he came down from the mountain, and he had this priest, this oil to anoint the priests' heads. Okay, and if you look in there, it has the ingredients there. I believe it's in Leviticus. One of the main ingredients is the fragrant cane, which if you go through Hebrew, the fragrant cane is the same thing we know as cannabis. But all these things later, all these different people, when you read that book, it's a very big book. And it took a long time to read. I kept checking it out from the library, like Ann Arbor Public Library. I think I still owe him fines on that book. But it was a great book, and that really turned me on to that. And then you get talking to more people, and you see learning the sciences of it. Like if you look on my Facebook page and stuff like that, you'll see I'm always posting something regarding that. And you hear, finally guys like Sanjay Gupta finally coming out and saying these things. So for me, it's just
CNN.
Thank you, and thank you, Sanjay, for being the man.
Apology accepted.
To finally just step up there and say, hey, there are some benefits here, and I was like,
we have to re-propagandize. We have to because everybody we were propagandized so much that the views that they have regarding it came from a lot of that same propagandization that we understood. Now, I had to depropagandize myself by reading stuff and learning stuff and starting to learn the things that he's talking about and the things that I could see, okay, this does work. And so now it's not just about medicating, it's about educating, because we have to take this message, we have to re-educate people. Like right now, we have to educate you on some things that you have no idea you're understanding, and with him. And so it's not necessarily, if you haven't smoked it, that's great, but there's going to maybe come a time in your life when you should know that it's a viable medication for you.
You guys are telling me,
and it may not be smokable.
Well, but you guys are telling me that marijuana is the key to life.
It's one of many, I'm sure.
It cures everything.
It's a cure.
I have a hard time.
I'm not saying everything. Nobody's saying everything, but the things that it does cure is important.
It does a better job than commercially available drugs designed to do the same thing with drastic side effects.
Okay.
Period.
Okay, well, I see what you're saying.
It does a lot. Like even last night I was talking to a guy who's, is a guy I've known for a while, and I didn't know that he had been an HIV patient. I had no idea. And he just expressed to me last night how he moved to the city that we live in specifically because of his situation, and he knew that he could come here and he could grow weed to cure and help with these symptoms. And to help him with alleviate these things, and has been able to go on and continue to live and move on.
So his pursuit of happiness, which gets violated every fucking day, all the time.
Bree Green. Right. Bree Green is Brielle Green was taken from her parents. Her father is an MS
and that's
patient.
horrible. That's absolutely horrible.
Yeah, now we're going.
Tell the story really quick about this.
Yeah, my basic understanding is that they
child custody issue.
Yeah, it's a child custody issue. They CPS, I guess, got upset that he wouldn't show them the grow room, which he was within the law.
So how did CPS get involved?
He had a case. There was something going on in Waterford. He had moved to Ingham County. And I guess somehow the CPS just decided because he was a grower.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because of her ex-husband complained to CPS.
Yeah.
Which is every day. I mean, you get exes calling in. I mean, don't you have the X line at CPS? I mean, just flashing like a Christmas tree. Like a free stuff on the radio, right? For sure. So so he's got some animosity.
We got somebody calling in.
Oh, this must be Jamie from the. Yes, please.
Progression or something.
J-Lo.
J-Lo.
We got J-Lo from Third Coast Compassion Club out of Ypsilanti, Michigan.
How you doing?
What's up, brother?
This don't sound like Jenny from the block.
Hello?
This is our J-Lo, everybody.
Well, it may not be. Who's this?
This is Jamie.
This is Jamie.
Why are you sounding like hello?
Oh, I'm sure he's had a long day at Third Coast.
How are you?
Super depressed.
Oh, why?
Everything's great. No, I'm just saying that's why I sounded so down. but I'm all right.
Well,
okay.
we're really glad that you had a chance to take some time off here to get in the show here. We got Mike V and Mike McShane.
We got
here
Detroit
on
Jones
the line.
in here.
Oh, Detroit Jones, aka Detroit Jones. Yeah. And we were just talking about Bree and her situation.
Oh yeah.
And so we were saying that it was the ex basically making the complaint to CPS, and that prompted the investigation.
Yeah, so they apparently came to the house,
right?
Asked to see the grow room, and I don't believe that anybody that was with their crew had a card. And he cited a citation in the law that says I can't let you in there because there's only supposed to be one person. It's got to be a card holder. He was well within his law, and so they decided.
This is the father telling CPS that they couldn't enter the grow room because it's illegal for someone else to enter the grow room without
being a card or not.
without attachment to the Michigan Marijuana Registry. Period.
Yeah.
So there you go. Go on.
Yeah, so that whole thing. So they couldn't really get him on that because they are protected. Now he's an MS patient. He's growing not only for whatever other reason, but for himself.
And epilepsy.
Yeah, and so it's been known. So he's been following he's been going with what he's got. He's doing the right thing. So they come, and they couldn't get it for that. So what they said was that because he's a grower, they're going to come in and get the child because there's now an increased risk of break-in, robbery, or theft.
I'm sorry, but don't you get that same increased risk when you go and buy a television?
Yeah.
Right.
And put it in your house?
Leave the box outside
Or
the car.
exactly.
Or
Don't you have that same
anything of value.
exact,
Sure.
Or if you own a
Live
business.
over at 7 and Harper.
whatever. But
Yeah.
don't you? So should they come and take all of our children because of that?
That's the first thing that come out of my mouth. Exactly what you said. I used a different reference, but it's like the logic. Like, what?
So if this goes through, then now what we have is a case that says the state versus these folks here, and it states that no child can be no longer around a home where
it's gonna
this
set
shit's
a- yeah.
going on, because it's going to set a precedent.
Right.
It's going to be a weird case, yeah, because it's the way that they're using other things. They're coming through a back door to try to attack something that's already been legitimized in the law that people voted
Well,
on.
that's how they normally work. If they can't
Yeah.
get you head on, they'll do something else.
Yeah.
Jamie, what do you have to add on to
Yeah,
this?
what's your 2 cents, brother?
Well, just to clarify, if you take Bilsma, which is a case that made it to the Supreme Court and then remanded back down to the Court of Appeals, seriously, even if somebody has a card, and if they're not connected to that garden, they're not supposed to come in there. So they were really trying to follow the law.
Yeah.
They have a pattern of that throughout this entire persecution.
They have.
They have
It is a
to
persecution too.
It's entrapment.
The first judge says that it's an issue of there's increased risk of armed robbers coming in, and that's why even the common person finds this to be an outrage. You don't have to be a member of the medical marijuana community or understand cannabis that much. Just that there's a law there, and they're following it, and they're superseding that for this imaginary higher public health and safety purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And so then the next judge at least allowed Bree and their parents to spend more time together, which was better. And the fact that he even
for sure.
allowed for a reconsideration was good. But then also misfired on several reasons for keeping the baby out of their custody. So they'll have a jury trial to explain the situation. And I would like to think that there aren't 12 people out there we could put together that would keep the baby from them.
Right. Well, Jamie, how long have you been in the business?
Since shortly after the law passed.
Okay.
I was in real estate along with a few buddies, and that was kind of tanking. There wasn't a lot of opportunity or action there, so we were assessing what may we possibly do. And the law passed right around that time, and so ended up getting involved in this thing, and didn't intend necessarily to get involved on the political side or activism side, but it kind of evolved into that.
Well, you're in the Ann Arbor, Ypsi area, so you kind of have no choice but to get involved in that way. That's right.
So have you sat in on some of hearings and
stuff
things
like
going
that?
on?
Sure.
See, that's one of the things that I kind of felt like, there was a period of time going on, this witch hunt on clinics, and everybody just going in, and feds raiding, busting people for no real reason.
Yeah.
It just felt like a witch hunt. But I always kind of felt, and I always kind of felt too that you putting in the time and the energy and the effort to stay sharp with the latest of what's happening with the laws, and being in Lansing, talking to all the representatives and creating this report, and they get to meet you, and it's not like, oh, this ain't like some, stoner loser kid, this is a guy who knows what he's talking about and can present the debate very well.
Right.
On all sides of this. And,
we've reached that point of the game that we have to have.
We got to have players like that.
Yeah, the activism of the day of the past isn't going to work. The hash bash activism, we're past that now. Now we need suits and ties and intellect and discussion, re-education.
Right, and that's what I'm saying,
And
is
facts.
that, one of the reasons that I felt like during this whole witch hunt going on, thankfully, Third Coast was, under the radar, but I also felt that they were under the radar because they were running a tight ship. You know, you're having a you know, this relationship with the people that can make and that do make a pain in the ass for this issue.
I think the community too, where Third Coast is, and even like because when the law got passed, I think the first couple dispensaries I know that opened were right there in Ipsy.
Isn't Third Coast the first one?
It is.
Yeah, that was Hamilton Street, right?
We work with the local government to actually develop an ordinance and a licensing.
Yeah, and I thought that was awesome.
Now, let me ask you this: what has that been like dealing with folks on the end, where you know you're going to be running into people that are going to be, you know, kind of jackasses about the situation,
Right.
looking down on you?
Now, I was going to say, do you have any do you run into many problems, like, you know, just because?
Not at all. This is something that most people, period, support in one way or another, particularly medical marijuana. And it's usually just a few people who sit in positions of power that cause all the problems.
And you know, a lot of those people. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
A lot of those people that you're talking about there, those people in positions of power, me and Mike know this just from what we've seen, is that a lot of them still even believe that it's okay. They don't really have a problem with weed or marijuana. They just don't want to take a position or seen taking a position against something that they've been propagandized as bad. So the same people.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, they don't want to look bad. You know, they'd rather not look bad than be right.
Ipsy
It's longer for politics to catch up with you know, the citizens at large.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ipsy's city council had undergone substantial change in the 8 to 10 years prior, and some of those people were initially Ann-Arborites. I saw a serious political shift in Ipsy that I can, you know, he was in a great position in a great city. There are some people that are going to be like this, but there are some people that are more open-minded than you would think about Ipsy. It's just they changed the city council mainly for the gay rights issues and things like that. And it changed a lot. Police brutality issues. So the Ipsy PD has changed a lot in its structure, the way its people are. They got rid of a lot of the old people that would have been kicking in Jamie's door.
Okay.
Just because.
And speaking of the same thing, I would say along the same lines here of what we're talking about, some of these people who are politically unsure what to do need some fuel from us.
Yeah, we need to educate them.
Use it when they're making their decisions.
Right.
Yeah, so
you know, that's true. You know, we make an effort to connect to those folks, and they have a better perspective of like, wow, it ain't really just about some stoner college kids trying to get away with smoking weed. You know,
the majority of just plain stoners that are smoking to get high don't know this.
A campaign that we had as we were testing with the new technology in the last few years and doing a study in conjunction with Wayne State University has been, you know, letting the lawmakers know and people at large know that there are several applications of medical marijuana that do not involve any kind of psychoactive effect.
Yep.
And that opens a lot of minds when you start talking like that, because the image is of people sitting around smoking and getting high. And when people learn that the various methods and methods of delivery and how they help and why the various strains are important and that type of thing, you start opening some minds, and then they have some information with which to get into a discussion with other people or to back up their support. And the testimonials really help out as well.
Yeah, that's why I think guys like Tommy Chong, who, you know, in some ways he was instrumental in being used as a propaganda tool, but at the same time now has the ability to really be speaking, and some of the things that he's been saying and putting it out there, healing,
right,
and his own understanding, not just, you know, the comedy, you know, that's what a lot of people think, Cheech and Chong, they think we're all just like that. It's like, no, we can be, we do like to sometimes, but it's not all about that. So
Sheriff Bouchard, this is not a Cheech and Chong. Sheriff Bouchard.
Yeah,
this is not a Cheech and Chong movie.
Right.
Yeah, this
with
is
the alligator.
Yeah, this isn't it.
Right. Cancer's no joke either, and that's when the laughter stopped.
Yeah.
When the cancer came down, and that diagnosis is chilling at best.
Yeah.
And he's attributing it to marijuana exclusively. So.
You know, that's awesome, and I love to hear stories like that. You know, my situation too is that, you know, I have the opportunity to come to Third Coast and get to just sit in the lounge area and play music. You know,
yeah, I saw you were
and providing music. It's therapy for everybody that's just kind of waiting around to go, you know, and everybody's enjoying it, you know.
Yeah.
And Jamie will even go grab his guitar or his uke, and we'll jam out. We have a great time. You know,
It
and
was, on that same line, we are setting up the compassion room, the room downstairs, with a complete setup with a drum kit and a PA and a bass,
cool.
and a couple of keyboards and some guitars. We're going to have
that's a great idea.
it's
A
open
little
for
jam
members
room.
to be able to jam, and then like once a month have like a coffee house open mic night.
I
for
think
members,
Razor
a
Ray
little
just
meeting
came.
for our group.
I just totally nutted in my bong.
Ray just came. I just saw the O face, Jamie. He just went through the O phase.
I just nutted him.
And I'm sitting here right now with a musician who is also an activist, and his name is Miles Giroux, and he's head of the Eastern Michigan chapter of Students for Sensible Drug Policy.
Awesome.
And they are putting together an event October 26th. In fact, is it okay if he announces
Oh,
it?
go right ahead, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, hold on. Hi, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Hey there, Miles.
What's happening?
All right, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
We're doing an event, Eastern Michigan's chapter of Students for Sensible Drug Policy, the 28th of October, which is a Monday night at Eastern Student Center. That's going to be showing the movie The House I Live In and having a discussion after about the drug war. And we're going to try and focus on its effects on public safety at large, how the private prison complex or the private prison system is built up, mainly as a result of it, and arrest rate discrimination between races and minority groups.
What time is this going to start at?
This will be starting around 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
We'll start to show, probably a little after 5 o'clock, we'll start to show the movie. We'll probably have a small introduction before, let people kind of come in, and then show the movie around 5:30.
So is this going to be like is this going to be an ongoing, is this just like you're launching it? Is it going to be ongoing? Is it going to be something you're going to do like every month
or monthly?
right? Or is it just this one-time deal?
Right now, we only have it planned as a one-time deal, but we're definitely not opposed to making it an ongoing discussion. We want to see how the first event goes and then probably go from there.
Oh, okay.
Now, who all is involved in the coordination of that? There at Eastern.
Right now, it's Jamie and myself, and then the other people in my chapter, mainly my office, my vice president, Joe Zabowski. We've been really trying to push the effort to get this out there and to get this discussion happening.
How active is that group there on campus? I'm just curious.
We're moderately active. We have a lot of members that also have partial to full-time jobs, so we kind of take people's participation as we can.
Okay. No, I was just curious. That's good to see that that kind of movement's happening on
campus.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's what it's going to take. It's going to take the young folks to be stepping up to this and saying this. We don't want your policies. This is what we want as the people.
Yeah.
And and you're doing great. It sounds like to get the information out there.
Do you have a Facebook event page for that? Did you set up a Facebook?
We'll be setting one up in just a few days, most likely. I'm working on a flyer, and that's the big reason why I haven't started to promote it heavily, just because I want to have a nice, face for the event.
Gotcha.
Well, look, tell Jamie to give you my contact information.
Yep, we'll promote it for sure on our webpage.
I would
that'd be phenomenal. Thank you.
Yeah, I would like for you to call me like after the show.
It's my birthday on that day, October 28th.
All
right.
So I'll be turning 18.
22.
I want to go back. I want to be illegal.
No.
Do something over.
No.
I want to make you feel weird.
I know, right? Ugh.
Way
All
back.
that
Way
I
station.
can certainly do that. I'm going to pass the phone back over to Jamie.
Okay.
Thank you guys for having me on and letting me announce that.
Hell yeah,
All right,
brother.
thanks.
Thanks for
Cool.
doing
Keep
that.
doing what you're doing, man. That's cool.
Keep up the hustle.
That is good.
All right. I just want to add that during that, after that event, there'll be a panel discussion with Dr. Detroit, Dr. Whitty,
Yeah.
Joe White. Joe White is a civil rights activist. He's a member of the Justice Commission. And he's currently a board member of Michigan Normal. He goes around and shows the movie quite frequently around the state, and also then offers up a discussion. And a lot of those people will just be coming back from a drug policy conference in Colorado, put on by the Drug Policy Alliance, and they'll have a lot of updated information on kind of national policy in general. So it should be very informational for those who are.
That's very cool.
Well, Jamie, I told him to tell you to give him my contact information.
So we can plug it, put it on our webpage.
And, Charmy Golson will will participate in that as well. She's
Okay.
actually here in another part of the building. But she put on her organization, Michigan Moms United, put together the press conference and a civil rally kind of when Steve and Maria first got their baby taken away, and then the subsequent hearing, and they
she did the Fox 2 News thing.
And had a great response from press and got the word out to people, and that was a lot to do with Charmy, who will be there as well.
Awesome. Props to Charmy.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that I think, as I was saying earlier, getting to perform, getting to just kind of sit back and chill out, play some music for everybody that's going through. And every now and then, you'll see somebody that's coming through, and they'll be bringing their paperwork from their doctors and saying how their illness has been in remission. Well, I don't remember what that lady's name was, Jamie, but a young black woman.
You don't want to say her name anyway.
Diane. Diane.
No, we don't need to know her
Yeah,
name.
well, hold on one second. Yeah, so Diane, who just seems like, when you look at her, she looks just like, somebody who doesn't do anything like that. She looks like a normal person. And, and her coming through, you could just see just how happy she was that this illness had finally chilled the fuck out.
Right,
Okay.
healing.
Every report, her tumor shrank significantly.
Yeah,
Wow.
and that was
she went on a gram a day, and Mike McShane, actually, I don't know if you remember her, Mike, helped me out with that one, and he's helped me out with other patients as well.
Yeah,
Of course, I know you probably already talked about it, but he cured cancer himself.
Yeah, we talked about
we're
his
definitely
already.
talking about it. I mean, it's just and that was the thing that we were also discussing. With the situation that had happened to me, where I had my brain aneurysm. And the idea, was very much like, it's very possible that the reason that I survived it was because of how much cannabis I consume.
It's a neuroprotectant. And our own U.S. government has a patent on it.
See?
Yeah, it couldn't hurt you, for sure. But you see with a lot of those patients, they've been to the doctors for years, and what you're seeing is, somebody that's just so happy that they finally found something that would work. When their conditions have progressively gotten worse and worse, you actually become sick from the medications that they give you. Now you're taking pills because you're taking pills, and you start layering up these medications, and you just can't win.
What's the side effects to a lot of those pills and shit? Is it like you're gaining weight, you're irritable, you're shit like that?
You're not communicating or connecting with anybody.
Yeah, I mean,
Spacey.
just all kinds of things. You look at Ritalin. Ritalin is designed to block CBD receptors, those receptors that we talked about earlier in the show that are key to this wireless management system. Ritalin was designed to block that. And what they find with Ritalin, it causes cancer. So there's the other end of not paying attention to a balance that's created by something greater than ourselves. I mean, this is life itself, and cannabis was put on the earth to help us help ourselves.
I'm still a skeptic, though. I have to tell you, I'm still a skeptic. Okay,
and that's good. You are,
Well,
and it's good that you're saying it because that's a lot of folks feel that way.
Totally
Well, I still can't see. Okay, how much do you smoke in a day?
Well, I smoke quite a bit, but that really doesn't, I don't think, have as much to do with the cancer issue and HIV as taking the oil does. But I smoke constantly, probably 8 joints a day or more.
So a person having cancer or MS or something, you all say it helps them out. It cures. How much do you think you would have to smoke? I mean, I'm still a skeptic.
You can't smoke that much. You'd have to take it.
Yes, oils.
Right.
Okay.
Those treatments aren't really smoking. Those are eating a concentrated version of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can't smoke that much. You'd have smoke pouring out of your ears. You'd be on fire.
Okay.
You just can't smoke that much. But and you know what? You can't overdo it either. in regards to overdosing on marijuana, it's actually impossible because the CBD receptors that we discussed do not exist in the area of the brain that controls breathing and heart function.
Okay, you know what I find stupid?
What's that?
And I mean, again, I'm a skeptic. Just put it out there. But how is it that liquor and beer is legalized when there are more deaths?
They don't stop kids.
Because it gets
When there are
people in
more
court
deaths.
on Monday morning.
You know,
Right, that's exactly
you get
it.
you get all these people, you know, drunk driving.
It's a racket.
and all these people
It's a racket.
dying because
It's
of
a
it.
racket.
Can I chime in a couple of things here?
You know,
You've seen the T-shirts. It's like God made weed, man made beer. Who do you trust?
right?
Okay.
I've never seen that shirt, but okay.
I've seen that around, or bumper stickers or whatever. The thing is that you're not going to get a can of Bud Light laced with PCP. Okay, so there's regulations on what man creates. This is not, she's skeptical, I'm skeptical, because here's the problem I'm having with the whole discussion. On one side, you have the super puritanical reefer madness. If you smoke marijuana, if you even think about the word marijuana or mara or wana or anything like that, you're going to turn into a reefer head. You're going to be dating jazz musicians. You're never going to amount to anything. You're going to be a loser. You're going to be given hand jobs at a bus station. Okay? That's the one side. That's the prohibitionist side. On the other side are folks like you who are claiming that marijuana is the most magical cure-all, will cure every disease ever possible, and the only reason that we don't... Hold on.
We never said that.
If you're listening casually, it sounds like it cures cancer, it cures AIDS, it cures all this other stuff. Hold on, let me finish.
Okay, so
my
finish your
thing.
retort.
So I'm just pointing out that on one side it's like weed is the worst thing ever, and on the other hand, weed is the greatest thing ever, but it's only being held down due to the evil corporatist government conspiracy to profit from pain and medical stuff. And this is the same sort of thinking though that says like we can cure cancer, but there's too much money to be made by treating cancer. Bullshit. You cure cancer, you will make so much money that you will be able to buy heaven and evict God, because you will just, only thing to be more money making would be cancer curing Viagra. All right. So on one side you have weed is the most evil demon thing, and the other side it's the most greatest thing, and you can't trust the corporate medicine that has made the stuff that's keeping people alive. The reality, I'm certain, is somewhere between these two polar extremes. The problem is that when the alternative argument to, weed is the devil is weed is magic, it sounds just like a bunch of stoners. Now, here's the thing. This is where the fact that I've never smoked comes into play. Okay, and we touched on this last week. Even though I've never hit it, I'm opposed to the whole medical marijuana thing because too many people are using it as a backdoor way to get their weed under the auspices of healthcare, as opposed to just saying, I want to get high.
Yeah, but I was doing that and I cured my own cancer. So if one gets through, isn't that worth it?
And why is that an issue, really?
Well, yeah, one gets through. I'm that one.
Okay, the thing is that the one, but that's not the basis of doing
Not
anything.
good enough. We
I
need
mean, it's like the people who say we got to ban guns because if it saves just one life, but 20 kids a year drown in buckets. So why aren't we banning buckets if we're just going to do anything to save one life? Trying to make it an absolute position. I'm not saying, and this is not where I'm coming down. I'm just saying that how it sounds. Okay, if you're not inclined to believe that weed is magic, it just sounds like your guys are trying to come up with an excuse.
It sounds like snake oil. I agree with that. When I first got into that, and people were talking about this business, and people were talking about curing cancer, I said the same thing. Let's tone that down a little bit.
I mean, it should be also. It should be treated,
not believable.
Treated as any. Okay, the thing is that you need to. This is just like my editorial opinion. It should be treated as the way homeopathic medicines, alternative medicines, and this and that. I mean. For crying out loud, Steve Jobs
status with it.
Steve Jobs was afraid of surgery, so he decided not to go with real medicine, and boy, did he regret that decision. In the end.
Yeah.
So that's the sort of thing. I'm just saying, and the thing is because, and I think that I'd like to think that my opinion carries a little more weight than you stoner losers.
Right.
Because the fact is that I have no dog in the fight. If the stuff was legalized tomorrow, I wouldn't start smoking it. Okay, and the thing is that I'm the person who you think, because you were joking about it earlier. It's like, you think a loser? No, that was just shtick. I was just making comedy, But the thing is that why is it wrong to spark up and watch a Cheech and Chong movie as opposed to get drunk on a case of Coors while watching the game on Sunday?
Now, what were you saying, Jamie? You were saying something.
I don't know exactly what it was. But,
Dirk was saying something, and
what this all comes down to is money, and the reason that cannabis remains illegal is because it became illegal, 80 years ago, and we haven't had that same kind of immediate reference in our history as we had with Prohibition with alcohol. To go, wait a second, Prohibition sucks much worse than some type of a regulated system. And there's this massive industry. The war on drugs, which is a self-perpetuating industry, which relies on revenue generation from these things. And a pot investigation is typically pretty simple, less expensive, less violent, and you get more shit usually in a forfeiture type situation.
Okay.
And the private prison industrial complex, the forfeiture money, the private treatment complex, which is kind of displacing the prison industrial complex for marijuana now. Kevin Sabet goes around talking about how he agrees that that people shouldn't have to go to prison for this, but they should go to treatment for it. So this is all about money.
Well, listen.
That's why it's illegal.
The Patriot Act was used as a reason to bust Tommy Chong for his bong business. And when that came down, I was like, are you effing kidding me? I mean, there are terrorists trying to kill us, and you're beating up an old hippie for selling glassware, you jackasses. This is not what I want my tax dollars used for, okay? Leave Tommy Chong alone. Leave the weed dealers alone. Go find some real bad guys and kill them, please. Thank you.
Get Walter White, please. The real Walter White.
Real Walter White.
So
when it comes to medical, though, I mean, it doesn't matter to me what somebody thinks about it.
Mm-hmm.
I just want the rights to be realized.
Right.
Exactly.
They're there. We're no longer discussing medical efficacy. 63% of the voters said that it works for medical reasons, so our state accepts that.
Well,
now we're
Mike,
just talking about getting these laws respected.
Okay, so did you take any medications while you were going through your process of cancer?
Well, out of the 5 times I had cancer, I had a lot of surgeries, had chemotherapy, radiation. I did all that. I mean, trying to cut cancer out with the blade of a knife, I mean, you got to get every single cell.
Exactly.
I mean, who's that good?
Right.
I mean, I guess I could introduce you to some doctors that think they are at the golf club, but believe me, they aren't. And so now you're going to, steep the area in some kind of chemotherapy or direct radiation.
So what made you like, you know what? That's it. I'm done.
Didn't work.
Let's try this.
Because it didn't work.
Okay.
And I had cancer came back, and I approached one of the medical marijuana people. I was just like you. I didn't want to be contradictory when people were saying that they were being cured by marijuana when I was smoking free weed. I mean, I'm not a fool,
right?
So I kind of let it roll. But I'll be honest with you, when it came down to my turn, and I asked for some of this oil and I tried it, it took me about 10 days to see that it was actually working. And the only thing I've ever seen with any kind of cancer is growth. It's not a status quo type disease. It always gets worse. And I took the oil and it went away. So there was my
30-day series of pictures that Mike has.
Where can we see that? Where can we?
We posted those in a magazine. Actually, I think I might even have them on Facebook or could get them there. But it was a publication that has since been gone out of business. But it was just amazing to me. And I went down to my internist downtown at the Detroit Medical Center, who I'd been dealing with for years. And I showed them what I was doing on my skin, and they agreed that it was cancer and that I should get to dermatology right away with it and get back into that process. But you know what? I'd been through that process. I'd gone through all phases of that treatment, and I always came out with less. And I just wasn't in a position to give anymore. And when I tried the marijuana, it worked. And I've seen it work with a lot of other people. Leukemia cases, brain tumor cases. It's one of the only things that will actually penetrate the brain's blood barrier. The brain does not allow most substances in or around it to physically get into that bloodstream or get anywhere close to the brain, and marijuana sails through like it's going through a sieve. So most of this pharmacology, all these studies, they're trying to get a drug to do what marijuana does naturally.
They're trying to sell Marinol, right?
Well, Marinol is one thing, but they're trying to get a drug to turn off the blood supply to one cancer cell and leave the 3 that surround it alone. Well, that's pretty good plumbing, brother. I mean, that's almost up there with God and shit. So that's really what I'm talking about. To give the cell a code to, if it's in bad enough shape to kill itself, to just go ahead and shut down. On the other hand, if it's repairable, to repair itself. And where does that kind of thinking and engineering come into play? It doesn't come from a pharmaceutical company. They're just not that smart. They just can't do this stuff. But what they do is they spend most of their time trying to get one component out of, let's say, the 10 things that a marijuana treatment may do for a specific illness. Out of the 10 things marijuana does naturally, they're trying to get one. And, one doesn't even work.
Right, right.
It takes several angles to make this disease go down. So how do you find something that just so naturally fits? And to the point of being absurd, we were talking earlier about it just doesn't make sense that something like marijuana could cure cancer, but it doesn't make any more sense to say that the plant's dangerous.
Right.
What plant do you know that's dangerous? Are there plants that shoot poison darts 25 feet and cause some kind of neurological shutdown? I don't know. I mean,
I don't think so.
You hate some there are, for sure, like hemlock, for example.
Well, I guess. But
I agree with what was said earlier, too, and what you're alluding to is that this is plant medicine. This is an herbal remedy, and all the components in the plant work synergistically together to have an overall effect on that person's individual system, and that's where we get the benefits from.
On variant levels, too. You're not just dealing with the physical, but you're also dealing with the mental, because it changes a lot. Some people just that attitude change. And, in healing, they say laughter is the best medicine, etc. Those things come from... you have to be in a right state of mind in order to even be able to laugh or to get to a right state of mind so you can help yourself heal. Because if you're depressed, you
don't laugh on morphine in the hospital.
No.
Believe me.
Talk about,
tried it.
Maybe you do, but it's like
the socialization too while you're doing that, and that's great therapy for sure.
Well, some of this kind of gets off into some stuff, kind of like what Dirk was saying, and I agree. There's always going to be people that are at opposite ends, and you always have the black and the white, and
because I'm still on the other end of it,
and that's fine. I think as more. I'm going to send you enough stuff that at least you will be able to, whatever decision you make, it will have been made with looking at these facts.
Okay.
I don't say it cures all. Mike don't say it cures. We do know it cures some things. Now, there's some people that do say it's a cure-all, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
But that's not where I'm at. Mm-hmm. My main thing is re-education of people of the basic misunderstandings that we have. And I talk to a lot of people, rich, poor, old, young, fat, skinny, from all different parts of the world, that even if they don't smoke weed, by the time that they've done having this conversation with me, have gotten the understanding that it's not the same thing that they were told when we were growing up.
Because my thing is this, like the placebo. Mm-hmm. You go into it like, oh yeah, this is going to help me. This is going to cure me. You're basically doing it yourself.
But he didn't go into it thinking it was going to cure him, and it did.
Right.
Here's a basic premise to think about, and it's just recently discovered within years, and that is the fact that we have this endocannabinoid system.
Mm-hmm.
And that system regulates the other systems.
Yeah.
So you can see why when people call it a cure-all, there is a lot of applications to it because it's right at the beginning of a lot of things.
That was, I think, the greatest piece of research that came out was that when that really started, people started tying that together with endocannabinoids.
So the brain, we all have endocannabinoids
people thought
receptors.
Yes.
Well, here's a question though: is it possible to get the effects of the cannabis oil with the intoxicating aspects pulled out of it?
Yes.
Is there a way to do it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So if you're a straight edge, you can still get the stuff without the the devil weed
Right.
portion of it.
Yeah,
You know what? They
Because
told
I do
me
not
they
want to. I do not want to start dating jazz musicians.
or giving hand jobs.
and that's
I just narrowly avoided the hobo fighting circuit. So
I've said this to a lot of people. There's a lot of people I know that are in the exact same situation. They don't want to get high.
Did you hear
They
about
wanna
the little
heal.
girl that they were extracting some of the? What did Carl? He was telling us.
CBD.
Yeah, they extracted that and was giving it to the little girl.
Yeah, it's a component, and what we're doing most of the time is just growing a strain of marijuana that happens to have more of the CBD component in it than the THC, and it seems to work kind of like a teeter-totter. If the plant is very high in THC, generally speaking, it's low in the CBD content, and the CBD is something that we're finding out is the real magic in this whole thing. So by selective breeding, you can develop a plant that's very high in CBD that will practically not get you high at all, even if you smoked it. And most of those plants are made into a medible, a brownie, or even a gel cap where you take the oil directly. These kids that you're hearing about with the brain cancers, that's how they're taking marijuana. They're not smoking it.
They're not getting high.
So that's okay.
They're not getting high.
It's medicine.
Yeah.
So
And there's the raw cannabis juice too, which
Oh, how does
Yeah.
that taste? That sound like it tastes nasty.
Raw cannabis juice. I have yet to try it out. No, wait. I did try
this
it.
is something that Dr. William L. Courtney, who's done some of the, I think the most research on it probably.
That sounds like it tastes horrible.
Would say that it's a little bitter. You mix it with something sweet though, and it's great.
Yeah.
yeah, you mentioned
It's
something
like
sweet.
it's not a wheatgrass or something like that. I mean,
Okay.
of course,
Just don't mix it with no stevia.
See, the one thing about marijuana is if you don't heat it one way or another, it doesn't become psychoactive, and it won't get you high.
You still get benefits from
Which
it. Though.
sucks.
And
You heal. I'm trying to get
so that this
Jazz
there's one little
musician.
molecule. There's one little molecule you got to shake off the THCA, and with a little bit of heat, that happens, and it becomes an activated THC, and that stuff is what gets you the euphoric effect. Or
You lied. You do have a lab coat.
Actually,
right?
You do.
well, the sweatshirt does have an RX on there. So
I know.
I'm
No,
assuming
it says I be puffing.
I'd be puffing.
natural pain relief, baby. Natural pain relief.
But
So you look at cannabis as a nutritious vegetable, you get a better perspective of it than what is commonly thought of.
right, and without the introduction of heat, it becomes non-psychoactive, and it's going to give you whatever that particular plant is inherently capable of. But that's why we're saying if there is a situation where I've had cancer people that did not want to take the oil because it did get them high, and these are 50, 60-year-old people that have never smoked a joint in their life. And I'm pumping them up with some of the strongest THC known to mankind. I mean, they were just stoned out of their mind. And they hated it. I mean, they absolutely hated it. And, would call me in the middle of the night and say, this is awful. And I said, well, it's better than chemotherapy, so just keep doing what you're doing or you're going to die.
So how long have they been using it?
Well, it's generally a treatment normally lasts a couple of months, and it becomes a situation where you become used to the amount, and you take more and more every day. And you normally take 60 to 90 grams of oil over 2 or 3 months' time, and then forever after that, just a maintenance dose every couple of days. A little bit in a gel cap to keep these levels up, these the CBDs and THC levels. So
if you stopped smoking, what would happen? Do you know?
Well, I know that I hadn't taken oil for a while, and my condition started to come back, and I just recently went back on the oil, and it's going away again. So it's telling me that
Neutralizes it.
it works. It works better than surgery, because if I took the same case to the DMC, they'd come at me with a knife, and that's the only way they've ever done it before.
And a huge bill.
A huge bill. I mean, I can't even tell you how much money I've spent on healthcare. It's a shitload. I've been dealing with 4 rounds of cancer and HIV for 27 years.
Wow.
I was taking $18,000 worth of pills a year before I was turned on to this marijuana oil. And I was also told by all the top docs at the DMC, such as Larry Crane, head of the infectious disease department, that if I didn't get back on the pharmaceutical drugs, I'd be dead in 3 months, and that was a year and a half ago.
Wow.
And so I'm not a PhD in math, or I don't have a lab coat, but I can add. And 18 months is better than 3. And I'm far from dead. So
And you're not
Well,
dealing
you
with
look good, man.
Well, you're not dealing with impaired or compromised living. I mean, Mike is out there and about. Like
He's living his life.
Right.
Not a homebody. He's not. He does his stuff. I mean, so when you see stuff like that happen with people and other people, I know a bunch of some people that are his patients, and you see the same thing happening with some of them. And you just talk to them randomly when I'm just talking to them, and I'm saying, hey. How you doing today? And oh yeah. I can usually tell whenever they've seen Red Dog,
had a treatment.
And when you hear people talk about their situations and the healing, and I think that's what changed it the most for me. Is yes, I love to get high. I'm always gonna love to get high, but at the same time, if we can do these things to heal, and a lot of it is re-education of people. Because there's a lot of stuff that you just don't know that we were never taught, and a point that this passed by, and it's just a really interesting point that I have to make. Ritalin. They give kids, they ramped it up and amped it up this drug that's a known cancer-causing agent, but blocks the one thing that can cure that. So we're going to
shuts off the CBD receptors.
Yeah, we're going to make sure that this cure doesn't reach that, because most kids start smoking weed kind of young. So if they're on Ritalin, and this stuff's kicking in, well, by the time that the cancer's in their body and starting to grow, which
anymore is by 5 years old, it seems like.
Yeah, they're giving just these kids like Ritalin and these pharmaceutical. I'll tell you what, I'd much rather have had my school, any of the school for my 3 kids, ever call and say, yeah, I caught your kid with a joint, rather than somebody else's Ritalin or any other,
or Ritalin you're giving them yourself.
Yeah, and so I think that's one thing too. We're coming to a point now where older people that were in the closet smokers when we were coming up are coming out, because the facts are starting to support them and support this, and they're starting to now feel comfortable.
Okay.
And so I think that changing, but it's going to be the next generation. It's going to be my son, your sons and your children. They're going to change that for us, because we got to teach them, because they've been like this Kevin Sabat. He goes to these schools and stuff like that and speaks, and people are trying to say, well, we kind of keep this away from the kids. Well, that's not going to happen. You have to educate the kids properly, not the way we've been, not DARE style. We have to really educate them about the facts. So let them have the facts. If they know the real facts, okay, as they move ahead, then we can actually make change. Because the past generation we can't change. This generation, we can do some stuff worth it. But the next generation coming up is what's really going to make it happen. Because those are going to be the ones that are going to be legislating when we're old.
Well, the thing, really quick, I remember Jamie. You were telling me about this. Your a presentation that you did at a school in Canton, correct?
Yeah, Plymouth actually.
Oh, in Plymouth.
It was at a middle school. A student there called me and said he was doing a project which was kind of like a CNN style news report with a couple other people as anchors, and they were doing a component on medical marijuana. So
a high school
and a middle school.
A middle school.
Middle school.
Wow.
Yeah, when you said that, I was just blown away. I was like, wow, it's taken some time, but it's been some baby steps, but I really saw that as wow.
That was Plymouth Canton, Plymouth Salem.
A huge step.
Plymouth Canton or Plymouth Salem?
somebody was supposed to be there and be like in opposition to me, and that person, I guess, did not show up. So
Right, so there was going to be a debate.
Jody must have been unavailable.
I had the floor, so I laid on my side of it.
Okay.
But it went over pretty well.
Cool.
I thought that was
that's awesome, yeah.
awesome.
Middle
It's
school.
getting the word out there, because it's like you said, a lot of folks.
Don't you think it's like just too soon?
What kind of response did you get from that though, Jamie? Like, did you get any like parental like weirdness?
That's what I just
Not
said.
at all.
I would think that was too soon.
Okay, yeah. So what was the response and the reaction like? Did you get a chance to find out from the students or the teachers, faculty, or parents?
No, not much. Just a little bit, and it was all positive. For example, when I had correspondence with the student, it was to his father's email. So his father read everything that I wrote him.
Okay.
And the school understood the nature of the project and that it was okay with the student's parents, and that they were, monitoring the correspondence and that type of thing. And when I got there, they had no issue with me or limited anything or had anybody around to monitor the interview. Everybody was very comfortable with it, and generally went with them well. So there was really no look at it. Again, most people are fine with it.
Yeah, most people are fine with it.
Yeah. Very general who causes problems.
Okay.
So it's just really about getting, unveiling the myths about marijuana and letting people know that, hey, it isn't just a bunch of, stoners anymore.
Yeah.
A lot of them have grown up, have been, they've educated.
We're getting older, Ray.
And we're getting older, exactly. But it's all, I've known for a long time the benefits of it, It's kept me as a teen going, through some heavy changes as a teenager. And anytime I ever felt that kind of depression where that you go through it as a teenager and you're suicidal, I'd smoke a joint.
You know what it
You got me through so many of those
You know what?
nights.
Let me tell you. I lied. There is a benefit for me from the weed. There is.
What
your man
benefit is
smokes
that?
My benefit from weed is I don't beat Ray's ass.
Damn.
That's what my benefit is.
I know, Ray.
That's
so
what my benefit is.
Just
because,
like that.
Unlike an alcohol involved situation.
Right. Oh my God.
Doc Colony is over there saying something.
It's true. It's kept me alive as opposed to just the alcohol.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Anytime ever drunk, it's always been, brutal.
We've got
Yeah.
Just brutal. Not a very good
we've been down
drunk.
through there.
We've been there. We've been there. We hung out together like that.
We talk about that, like, you and me, Mike, talk about that. It's like, we're in a city, we both live in Ferndale, and we're in a city where there's, bars galore, and I watch drunks all night long.
Gonna be 3 more. Hang on.
Yeah, 3 new bars. We just had one just open up this week, and we got another one, 2 just open up this week, and then we got 3 more coming. So you think about these people, we watch them go back and forth, and we watch them, I could imagine what this chick's medical bill is that I saw, and, the embarrassment factor of some of these just drunken chicks. Okay.
And heels.
Okay, man.
Yeah.
I will
It's quite
tell
a
you.
sight.
Yeah.
The positive sides to alcohol in the bars is definitely the drunken, miscalculating women.
Well, you get some.
They fall and trip over and
Yeah.
gee.
You know
I can
what?
imagine
I remember-
what
I
Doc
rem-
Colony back here sees. We're just talking.
I could just remember. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't share this story. I'll retract it.
Oh wait, okay, because will this be jail time after?
Yeah, I don't really know. But just thinking to myself, just how much trouble alcohol has ever brought into my life. And there's a reason why I don't really drink it. It's fun to drink socially once in a while.
You don't
enjoy
drink because you got damn.
but
your
yeah,
ass.
Exactly. Oh my god.
I don't need all that. But just based on the facts too. There's just way too much opportunity to get your ass in trouble.
Get fucked up.
Yeah.
Yep.
You look at how many people, though. You look at the people we get talking about the prison industrial complex, etc. If you look at the amount of people who went to jail for a weed-related offense that got busted for it, that's one thing. But you look at the amount of people who went to jail because they did something while they were drunk.
Oh, yeah. Shot
that
somebody.
they would not have
I
done
killed
if they were
somebody.
smoking
I
weed.
fucked
or
somebody.
not
Exactly.
drinking.
Exactly.
I stole something.
I used cannabis to quit drinking in a few days. This month, 18 years ago.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and that's
Also used cannabis to quit taking pain pills, which I got caught up in about 5 or 6 years ago too. It's an exit drug. It's not a gateway drug.
right.
I like that.
Right. Well, we had some friends of ours that just went through a horrible meth situation, and they hadn't been. It happened, and it was quick,
Like
and it was fast,
Breaking Bad style, eh?
It didn't go for very long, but it was really bad. And the one thing that they credit, I mean, they go to NA meetings, so the one thing that they credit so much was just the fact that they were able to smoke some weed, and really good weed, and it's helped them to really just refocus all of the shit that they go through in the head when you're leaving that meth situation psychologically. There's a lot.
Yeah, that creates a mess.
And there was one day, literally, I was walking down the street, and had I not been down there, had they not seen me, when they seen me, they were going to go to their meth dealers.
Wow.
And it was just, they happened to see me, and I reminded them that, look, we're actually working on something. It was just seeing me. Like, they didn't, like, they talked to me for like a second. I was across the way. But it was just seeing me reminded them that, wait, we're working on this thing over here. And so just to watch them, and they when they talk about their experiences with meth, and then, you watch them now with weed, I couldn't stand them when they're on meth. Like,
Oh my God, dude.
They're
Okay.
really, really cool. And to watch them say the exact same thing as a gateway exit, not a gateway, as an exit drug for them. It wasn't what led them to meth. It had nothing to do with it, but it's helped them get away from it. And they've stayed away from it for we're looking at 60 days now, I think.
Wow.
And they went from being in a good position. The one guy was had a well-established growth situation. He's been a caregiver for a long time, and he had to quit doing that because he was so fucked up on this shit.
That shit will fuck you up.
Yeah, and now
I smoked meth. I ain't gonna lie. I got no lies here nothing to hide. But the situation that I was in, I was actually helping a friend move from Houston back to Detroit. And
it's a long drive.
And it's a long drive. And he did not have the house packed.
Oh.
So it was packing a whole bunch of shit into a U-Haul, getting it all loaded, and it just took hours, dude.
Yeah,
and from the time that I got there, I was like, so where's the weed? Is like, got a little bit. And he's like, I got this meth. Are you want to smoke? I'm like, no, fuck that, dude. I don't want any of that shit.
Yeah.
Fuck, keep
weed,
that. I want the weed. And it was typical compressed brown weed in fucking Texas.
Yeah.
And after a few days of being stuck there, because I get there and he's supposed to have the truck ready. Well, the truck's not ready, so now we got to hang out a couple more days, and then we got to load up. It was horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I had not slept, and I knew I wasn't going to sleep because we were going to have a long drive. So I was just like, what's that meth like? And he's just like,
You know what? I don't care. There is no excuse at all.
It's really like nothing, dude. It's just like, you're not going to be able to sleep for a few days. I'm like, really? I'm like, you're a dick.
Not seeing the downside here.
No. You know what? It doesn't matter how pretty you're painting the picture. There is no excuse.
No, well, you know what? And I'm not trying to paint the picture pretty. What I'm trying to say is that
you've
I'm not
experienced it,
it, so I know the difference.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, by the time we got to, I don't know, probably Memphis, it's about to Memphis.
Okay.
We were ready to kill each other.
Oh yeah, I could imagine.
Because we were just like, because he kept smoking it, but I was like, nah, I'm done, dude. And just so edgy. There was a point where we were ready to throw down, and we were about to have a big fight, and I'm glad we didn't.
And you're like in Oklahoma, and like,
but afterwards, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, this is my homeboy and shit, and I'm here helping him, and all of a sudden, I fucking want to just kill this motherfucker. I'm like, this meth shit is some bullshit.
And you're so not the killer type.
So loud. I mean, I felt so bad. I was like, dude, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have smoked that meth, bro. Once I finally came down and smoked some
that's
weed.
the thing that I've always found, because I mean, in general, I'm a small L libertarian. It's kind of like, just decriminalize the stuff. People are going to fuck up their lives, and they're not going to fuck up their lives.
Right.
Let's get those who can't control their high, and their abuse, get them medical help. Empty out the prisons, put the bad people in the prisons,
That's what we built them for.
And stuff.
Exactly.
The politicians.
But meth is the one thing that makes me, even more so than heroin, is the one thing that makes me go, maybe we need to have some limits here, because
people are just going like,
crazy. And
Dude,
stuff.
it's ridiculous.
Well, the thing is, because I know Breaking Bad ended yesterday. Please don't spoil it for me because I'm still in the beginning of season 4 on DVD. Okay, so I'm behind on the curve.
You'll get my Stevia joke later then.
But I didn't catch it. So
Okay.
But the thing is that they people are saying, well, it glamorizes it. No, it glamorizes if you're the most awesome meth cook in the universe, but they've been pretty honest showing how everyone who uses the stuff ends up in bad shape, and especially if you combine that with heroin, and poor Kristen Ritter chokes to death, which was very sad because I'm all like hot for her and stuff. but not when she's throwing up. That's not hot.
Right. Well,
but the thing is like, in season 4 is after Jesse shot Gale, he just had everybody into his house and blasting the stereo and people are spray painting on his walls and the thing I've always wondered though, especially like even after Belushi and even with heroin, it's kind of like if you're in a line of people walking toward a cliff and you see the people are walking off the cliff and falling to their deaths and you don't get out of the line.
It's like, is this the line of the party, bro? Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's like
we're jumping to the party.
Okay,
cool.
yeah, fine. Joe Perry quit heroin and looks awesome without a shirt on at his age. He's the exception, okay? Most of the people end up like the daytime hooker in Breaking Bad at the motel.
The Oasis truck stop is hell.
Exactly. So the thing is that let's say because weed is like beer, okay? But when we talk about the heavy stuff, the very fact, and the thing is, and I've known people who were messed up on drugs and they stopped messing drugs, and someone explained to me like this: nobody starts using drugs because they want to feel bad. And they don't feel bad to start with. And it's after a while when you're murdering your homeboy in Memphis, Tennessee, because I'm sure the Tennessee authorities would love you and whoever else, fighting each other, all gacked up and with a car. You'd still be in Tennessee right now, if you know what I mean.
I will say it was an adventure. It felt like I was in an episode of Sons of Anarchy or something like that.
It'd have been, that'd have been like the weirdest call or something I'd ever read about anybody. They get somebody. Yeah, Ray killed somebody in Memphis.
Right.
He went on a meth.
He was
binge,
on
killed
meth.
somebody in Memphis.
Right.
Normally doesn't smoke meth, so that's probably why he had such a bad reaction to it.
We're weed heads around here.
Meth is bad, kids. Just that you know, bad.
Bad. We need to take a break.
Okay, well, looks like we're going to take a break. And then when we come on back.
What do you want to hear?
What we got?
What do we got?
Well, I got Critical Bill already queued up.
Let's play some of my boys from Critical Bill.
Okay,
these guys are going to tear it up.
When we come back.
And then when we come back, we're going to have our other guest. We got Doc Colony, who is here in the house.
We're sitting there going, it's like, when do we get to talk and when do we get these weed head jazz?
He's like, yeah. I was like, come on. He's like, for real, man. You guys have been smoking and talking about weed for about an hour and a half.
All right, we're going to take a break and we'll be back.
Are we hanging up this call or are we?
Jamie.
Jamie, you got all quiet and shit.
Jamie left already.
Jamie, you still there with us?
I did not leave. Real quick, there's an organization called National Patients' Rights Association, and they are lobbying in Lansing to get the dispensary bill through, House Bill 4271. So when and if people do want to go speak with their representatives and senators, please ask them to vote yes on 4271.
4271.
Jamie,
yes, on 4271.
Jamie, I'm going to need you to send me that information so I can go ahead and post it for you.
Yeah, we want to thank you,
No
Jamie.
problem.
We want to thank you for calling on in, brother, man. Definitely appreciate your expertise in this field. I'll see you tomorrow.
See you, J-Lo.
Thanks, good.
Later,
All
brother.
right.
Peace. All right, well, we're going to go to some music here really quick.
You guys almost went out to smoke down, left your guy hanging
I
on
know,
the phone
right? Totally. When we come back, I'm like all baked. Is he still here? Jamie? Jamie?
It's like, you assholes, I'm still here.
He's like, yeah, I'm smoking weed here.
This is a song called This Is Critical by Critical Bill. We'll be back in 2. Razor Ray, Danny Cakes.
Raw Radio.
Culture Vultures, 9 o'clock Thursday.
4 fierce fuckers and record, niggas better respect it. This is critical. Connect with the hit the jacks, you took the game in and stretched it. This is critical. Rock evil melodic glass with lyrics that are the freshest. This is critical. When you ask who bring the next shit, it's Dark City Collective. This is critical. 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 Who the quickest to bring it to you? Pop culture with voodoo. This is critical. Wild out, we straight up Zulu. Do you in twos like dudes do. This
kids, would you like to be a rock god the likes of David Lee Roth in his heyday? Then you need to get the
Ricky Rock's Rock God Starter Kit.
Each kit comes complete with black nail polish, eyeliner, sparkly scarf, an actual chick magnet, a velvet jacket to make all the girls go wild, and an over-the-hat skull cap with bandana accessory. Act Now will also include a handy booklet showing you all the best places to wear your sunglasses at night. Regularly a $29.95 value, now yours free when you take advantage of this fabulous offer. But don't act just yet. We'll also throw in a wall poster chart diagramming all the best rock bases to enchant your audience, proven to wet the ladies' panties in mere seconds. For all you newbies, this great kit also includes a CD demonstrating how to push your voice for the radio, taught by Ricky Rocks himself. So quit being a big puss and man up rock style with the
Ricky Rock's Rock God Starter Kit.
Now yours for just $29.95 plus $99.95 shipping and handling. Call now. 1-800-ROCK-GOD. That's 1-800-ROCKGOD. Now. Operators and tattooed hookers are standing by to take your order.
Actually, they're not standing by. And hey, what the hell? That's a new look for you, Dani.
Thanks. I got a penis now.
I look different, don't I?
Why the change up?
Because the cold air.
No, you kill that off. I mean, I thought it was just getting warm in here compared to outside.
Oh no.
Okay.
Cold air. You guys come on up.
You guys can come right all up here.
You having a problem snapping
yes.
that on? Snap that on. I'll kill time while our guests are coming up here.
Yeah.
And I'll put a plug in for Culture Vultures Thursdays at 9, Raw Radio X.
There you go.
CultureVultureRadio.com.
Well, yeah.
Get all the 20 back episodes.
Where can we find it?
CultureVulturesRadio.com. CultureVulturesRadio.com.
CultureVultureRadio.com. Okay, so we have our next guest in the house.
Yes. And this is.
Can you get it?
Can you hear? Dude, you got the awesome fucking
I love that hat. I told him I was going to take it from him, but he was like,
curl,
"No,
baby.
you can't have."
That's the shit.
California curl.
You can't.
You know, you can only buy these in Vegas. So,
You got really?
Yeah.
How much did you hit in Vegas?
I actually found them at that little souvenir shop for. I think she sold them to me for $8 a piece. I think I bought all 8 of them. Yeah.
Damn.
But she showed me how to curl them. So that's my trademark ever since. It's been the Vandl trademark ever since.
I like that shit.
I told him I was going to steal it from him. He was like, "No, this is my trademark." Sorry.
You can't. That's like trying to tell Alfalfa you're going to take his fucking hair that's sticking right up.
So while he's on stage playing,
Who's Alfalfa?
You got to catch him at about 2 in the morning, man.
I can try to steal it then, huh?
I'll let you wear it then.
So what is going on with Doc Colony?
How you guys doing? You doing all right over there?
We are doing.
We are having
fine.
a blast.
What about you? What do you have going on?
Oh man, I'm trying to pull up something over here so I can get all my bullet points.
You
a little bit of
pull up
everything.
your bullet points here.
A little bit of everything.
Yes, because a PowerPoint presentation is best for radio.
Right, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't work as well.
And as you can see on dot number 2, which you probably read 3 minutes ago, because I put all the words I'm about to say on the slide.
The slideshow for your earlobes.
You ever been in one of those presentations where it's like the whole thing is there and all they do is read off?
Oh yeah. So okay, where you see that red dot up on the wall, that's yeah. So talk to people, okay, and write down your ideas and communicate. Yay. Those 3 PowerPoints right there. Okay, time for lunch, right? So you got something. You've been having things popping off at City Club.
Right. That's my goal right now. That's what I'm focused on here for a little bit. I got a lot of my start over at City Club. I guess about 3 years ago, I popped onto this scene or whatever, man, and did some live shows. Used the ballroom, brought some bands in, some touring bands, some local guys, and kind of pulled everybody together. Tried to pull the scene together. I wanted to pick a unsaturated market in industrial, gothic, synth pop.
Which is great because this is Detroit. Like,
Detroit,
fucking,
man.
This is where a lot of this shit fucking started.
Come on, man. And then, it's derivative of like electronic music. It's all electronic because, those guys are running a track and, sometimes a drummer, guitar, bass, and everything. And so it was just real splintered. So I came in and, got on my soapbox, and I've been on my soapbox ever since, pulling people together and trying to get them to come out. And so once we got that scene together and got it going, I kind of started doing shows and promoting and co-producing other shows outside of City Club. And so that's 3 years ago, I guess. And now I'm taking a step back and going back and repopulating, reloading is what we're calling it now. City Club Reloaded.
City Club Reloaded.
Right. And those are nights to where you hit the front door. From the time you hit the front door, everyone can picture anyway in there, if you will, where the coat checks set up. There's DJs there. Next to that coat check area, there's a stage that we've erected, and there's burlesque and 2-3-man bands, all types of live music, experimental music. My guy Dental Work from Placenta Recordings, he owns that, and he came down and he did a whole open set over there. And then next to the bar, if you're standing at the bar, you look to the right, we have an arc over there for suspensions and flesh pulls and the whole nine. And then go down a little bit more, you haven't even made it to the main room yet, and we've set up a fetish corner. There's kinds of spanking whips.
Yeah, I saw some of that going on. That is probably one of the more cooler things to be
more
seen.
Popular.
Yeah, I like going there, just like, you're just seeing some girl just getting her ass slapped.
Come on,
so
man.
hard, paddled so fucking hard.
I can get graphic on this station.
Oh,
you can. Yeah.
Fuck yeah! So what's
Right.
so let me see this. Let me ask you this.
The first time someone hit cousins, I was like, wait, can I say that? Like, yes, you can.
That's it.
Awful. So you ever see a girl get spanked so hard right there in at that tortured corner, so hard that she just squirts?
What?
There's been a little bit of that. There's been a little bit of action there. There's
Really?
a lot of
Wait a
there's been some
Because that's really what people want to know.
oh yeah.
Really? They want to know. That's really what they want to know.
That's really what zip people want to know.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to bring some help, some reinforcements. I ask people they can get graphic for you on some of that. You know what I mean? But I tell you, that area, there's a bottleneck, man. It's right there. There's a lot of action going on, and people stop there. But they haven't even made out to the main room, and there's just there's
so much to see before you even get to
There is. You're taking on a ride from the time you hit that door, and that's the plan, to give people an experience. And people are coming back in on. This is a Friday night. Saturday nights was their best night, and Friday nights are populated. So I did 4 nights to test it out. We talked with the owners and City Club management, and now we're back till New Year's, starting this Friday, October 4th.
October 4th.
There you go. That's Friday.
It's Friday, and we'll be there every Friday, and we're going to have, in November, we're going to pull in 1 band per night.
Okay.
Now, they haven't had bands in the main area. They did some things in the ballroom, but nothing in the main area. So I'm going to have a lot of the artists that are coming from, and Ren Fair's over this week, so all of you guys come on over to... all of you guys come over and to City Club. I know you guys are all done, and I'm looking for some of those performers over there. So you guys message me on Facebook, Doc Colony, and I'd like to get you guys booked. The fire performers, the burlesque.
Speaking of the Renaissance Festival, I gotta say, major thank yous to the Queen and the entire organization for hooking us up.
Oh yeah,
and
awesome.
we got a chance to take the kids out and enjoy.
It was so nice.
That's the first time I ever went. Every time I tried to go, it was just living out in Ann Arbor.
Something came up.
Yeah, it was always some shit. And and it's not like I like got musicians around me that metalheads basically. It's not really that kind of shit that they would gravitate toward.
But you're glad that you went though.
And oh man, I want to go tell them guys, dude, this shit was fun to take a family.
You think though, because a lot of metal and death metal and things, there's swords, there's magic, there's mages.
And you know what? There were a lot of metalheads there. There was all sorts of people there from different walks of life.
I saw 4 people from City Club.
Right on. There's a lot.
4 people.
We got to see the joust. The fucking purple night. Purple night. He was awesome.
And then they changed into like a wrestling match, and he was cheating and everything.
Right on. Just like wrestling.
Is Dead Bob still doing his thing out there?
I don't know.
There was this guy. He was a ventriloquist acting. He's like looked like an executioner. He's got like a canvas hood over his head, and he's got like this skeleton puppet, and it's Dead Bob, and he does a bit, and it's really funny. Last time I mean, it's probably been 10 years since I've been. I don't know if he's still doing it, but yeah, it was a funny bit. A couple times I'd gone, he was there both times.
It was really nice.
So if you didn't see him, then maybe he's not doing it anymore.
I don't think maybe we just missed him on that day, but they had so much shit popping throughout the whole month. I'm like, man,
Sergio was there.
Yeah, we ran into Sergio. What up, Serge?
There's a ton of that underground scene that hangs out there because it's a place to dress up.
Exactly.
All the steampunkers were there. there.
Steampunk, man, gothic, a ton of the underground, man. They're out there, man. And so that our numbers will increase this Friday just because of that. I know a lot of the performers there are just living their intense.
So now let me ask you. Said you're gonna have bands playing.
We're gonna add bands there. Right now I got like 1 and 2 man type things. We have the Filter come in, and I'm gonna have Mind Static, who used to be BMM, and then Eprom will probably do something over there.
Now what about you guys?
Eprom's gonna do it. We're gonna hook it up.
We saved the best to last.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
So we're gonna so one band a night right at that front stage, and there's a lot of traffic there. You know, you have a captive audience of about 100 and some people. You know, on a good night, just right there. You know, buying drinks and all in your face. So that's a real prime area. Now, once you get past the dungeon spanking area, then we go inside the main room. I got to give a big shout out to my guy Tex. We've been working on some projection mapping for about a year.
Okay.
And that whole wall, we take the DJs out of the booth there, and we put them on the far wall, and they put a new stage up. The Dimph guys, they purchased all that stage. So we put them on that wall, and that whole wall comes to life. It's all projections, man. It's just beautiful.
Oh, that's awesome.
People make it around that corner to the main room, and they just stop there, man. People didn't know whether they should dance or watch.
That was so awesome.
You know?
And you know what? The photo ops. The photo ops alone. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And a select group of photographers we're letting in. You guys, of course, we're letting in, and we're doing the same thing. We're going to back it down to probably just about 5 or so, and then we're going to prohibit the cell phone photography. But the guys that are there, like you guys taking pictures, we're going to use those to get more people in. People are seeing the pictures, man. They're going nuts.
Wow. You know what? And the visual there, the visual there is so stimulating.
Yeah, you know, you can't just sit still. You can look to your left and look to your right. There's something
constantly entertained. You got something going on. I mean, I checked out the freak show for a bit, but then it had to stop. I mean, Girlie had to
let her down.
Had to let her down. I mean, at some point, they had to take a break and go get a drink, and and then you go walk around and you check out the dance floor, and there's some there was some pretty awesome couples that were dancing. They were just having a badass time.
You guys caught some good photos of those. Those guys are at Ren Fair. They're all over the place,
they were.
Man, too.
They were.
I think it was Laura and Emmy.
Yeah,
that's who's dancing those pictures.
What up, Laura Emmy?
And I know Helena was out there, and Meg was there.
Yeah.
There was all sorts of people that were, so it's hey,
it's real cool.
It's the exact opposite of where you normally see them.
You know what, the guy with the eye tattoos?
Oh, that dude with the eye tattoos. The dude with the red eye tattoo. He got red eye. He got his eyeball fucking tattooed.
He's in one of the pictures.
No, I didn't see that.
And he's got, he's got a big old fucking thing in his forehead underneath his skin.
Oh yeah. There's a few people that put the skin implants in.
They're awesome.
Right on.
So now you have the City Club Reloaded coming up. You got anything else going?
We've got. I guess we're planning a tour now. Eprom Colony. We're working with a guy who got a hold of me last night while we were doing Velvet Asset Christ. We just brought them in last night.
I saw that.
And that was a good show, man. That was a good show. I saw a lot of the bands now. They're doing the industrials. I call it skinny puppy style, just so people can understand what I'm trying to explain, for lack of a better,
So Ministry, skinny puppy flavor.
Thing, man, this guy, man, has been doing it. This is 12 years since he's toured, but he's been doing music long before that. And he's just...
just a quick thing. You had something set up for a manual DNS server in your network things. I had to turn that off to get on the DNS here. Just so you have to switch that back.
Thanks.
Awesome fucking talk.
Well,
I'm confused.
That's what he does.
That's what my job is. I'm IT. That's how I was able to.
Same here, man.
That's how I was able to fix your shit, because I was able to do the IT.
Two IT guys were in trouble.
One day when you give pot a try, you're just going to be so much awesomer. I'm not saying that you're not awesome, but
that's
you're
how
going
I
to be
feed. That's how I feed this.
That's why I don't smoke. That's why I don't smoke weed, because I would become so awesome. First of all, do you want to really switch religions to worshing me? Okay, then. The Church of Dirk. All right.
So back to Doc Colony. Thank you very much.
I'm going to comment on that. One thing he left off with the drugs thing and everything, and why people they get on it and they run rampant with it. Part of it. Let me just throw this in. People are like, "What is he talking about?"
Throw it in, man.
The case is, a lot of people think that they're stronger than the substance.
Yeah.
They feel that, I can handle that. Yeah, come on, break it out. You know what I mean? I work my 8 hours. I can go handle it. Yeah, but you know what? these hard drugs, man, they'll make you their bitch sooner or later, man. You know, you can't play around. And
Exactly.
If you're hanging around jazz musicians, you know you're on the road to hell.
And hand jobs are coming pretty soon.
Yep.
Hand jobs? I got to get back into jazz. But we're doing a lot of shows. I just did Bile 2 weeks ago. Brought them to Ohio, and then Faderhead. We did that right before that. And
how was that Faderhead?
Velvet Acid Christ. It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Glad to have him come to Detroit.
It was pretty good and so forth, man. It was pretty good. And we're doing. We've got Ego of Likeness coming in with our guy Servitor. You guys ought to talk with Servitor Sanctum. He's a local guy that's been touring with Ivod and Sphere, which is another big band. They've been all over the Europe and Paris and, you know, all these different countries. And
so
it's our guy. It's one of our guys.
You need to tell him to get in touch with me.
No doubt. And he's a guy, you know, he had his angst about music, you know, as we all do and so forth. And now he's taken off, man. He's moving, getting some good tours, man. And he's, you know, he's just right there on the cusp of things.
Yeah,
so anytime he comes,
very good band too.
Yeah.
Right on.
Donald Lynch is in that band.
Right on. We've got her coming in. That tour coming in November.
Okay.
But we're always looking for something, man. I think last year around this time we did Covenant, Ivod and Sphere, and Assemblage 23. So a lot of good bands will be coming through, and we try to keep that going. And I tell you what, over the past 3 years, Dark Productions has always been a production company bringing shows in the Detroit area, the underground music, and I teamed up with them a couple years ago, and well, us together, man, we've doubled and tripled the numbers of national and international bands coming through Detroit, man. I mean, it's some good times that we're in right now.
Okay.
So bands that are trying to come up and everything and get your head right and so forth and get in the game, man, you know, be ready for, I always tell everybody, be ready for the success. Don't get successful, then start pulling your shit together.
Right.
And don't break up with your girlfriend or boyfriend and cuss mama and daddy out too and so forth before you get where you need to be.
Well, we have 4 more minutes, so
Right on. Let me see what else I got. I think I've got a thing called Art Audio Angst. It's a thing that I do to a lot of the artists that I pull in. That's my art initiative. A lot of the artists I pull into that are new artists, and I go out looking for them, man. Okay. And I get them in the show, and they need some things on their resume to get to bigger shows. Now, all of my guys of the past 2 years, they're doing larger shows, man. These guys use a lot of their first shows, you know, work with me. So that's a thing to look out for. And then
even old artists that we're working with now, Meredith.
Lord.
Right.
She'll be here next week.
Right on. Meredith is hot.
Oh, great.
Man.
I wish I was coming in for that because I know her.
Oh,
yeah.
Maybe you might be here. It was a surprise.
Yeah, you may.
Well, if I'm not working,
if you're not working, right?
If you're not working, hopefully we'll see you.
You might as well come in and be like, Culture.com.
I'll show up anyway. Just to, you know, well, the thing is that at least for the starter, I'm supposed to be starting off working at Henry Ford, so I'm going to be in the neighborhood, but I don't know how they're going to work. And believe me, nothing personal, but it's like, you know, for what they're paying me versus what you guys are paying me.
I know, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be in service of the man. Okay.
Yeah, that's the other part,
wish
man.
we could pay you more, bro.
Right. I can pay them a little more attention, but that's about it. That's all I want to pay.
Lucky
I don't
me.
Pay you that. I don't even want to pay you that.
Yeah.
I don't need money.
So
I've
Doc,
got love.
I can definitely pay some more bills.
Some more bills. Now, what were you saying, Doc?
Yeah, I only have time to produce so many artists, and I got a lot of people that send me demos and want to come in and sing or do a co-thing, but we're working with Meredith Lord now. Mm-hmm. We're doing a project with her to where we're featuring her with Eprom Colony, and her music is really, really good. I have a ton of songs, and she has lyrics. She came over one time, and I think we did the rough laydown of like 3 songs in that one evening. So now we're remixing those, and we're putting out some really good music with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Really hot stuff.
Yeah. It comes to playing guitar. I mean, just her singing and everything, it comes so easy. I mean,
that is
right on. A little bitty thing about our band, I guess, before we get done there. Eprom Colony, we were industrial. We started out guitar, singer, track running. Now we're moving full drummer, bass player, and still have a click going on and so forth in our live performance, but we've got a whole new sound, a whole new vibe that we're putting out, and we're going to do a little tour here in November and do 4 or 5 cities. And the last piece I'll talk about is the network that I'm setting up in the Midwest. Mm-hmm. We're setting up with promoters, good venues, and we're going to use those same places to take our Midwest musicians and the bands that come from other cities or countries or whatever, and put them in that little loop. You know what I mean? A 2.5, 3 hour radius, and get us playing again. That's gone, man. We haven't had that for a long time. So to have that network to where you can go play out on the weekend and get paid something, you know? And the initiative, I'm starting up by hosting bands, bringing them here, paying them, giving them a hotel room, feeding them, and then that band and that network has to do the same for the bands that are coming out of here.
Okay.
So you kind of pull people into that little network, and now we've got our own network.
Yeah. There you go.
Pretty good.
You don't wait. You don't wait for, you know. We spend a lot of time paying these bands that are touring and everything, feeding and watering them, and getting them back on the road. And the opening bands get paid nothing or little to nothing and so forth. So we get our own network to where they're seeing new music and get the crowds used to that, man. We're breaking some really good ground. So keep an eye out for that. I'll be working on that. And
do you guys have any music?
We've got a ton of music, a lot of, and I notice you guys play things in between.
Yeah, if you guys
I'm gonna
have
get you
some
some
music.
over here,
Yeah,
man.
bring
We're gonna get some over here,
some
man.
music on over here for sure.
Get some of
because
that
we would
plug
play that.
love, man.
Exactly.
Get some of that plug
Send
love.
us some music and we'll sure play it.
No doubt, no doubt.
Get it
We
out
got
there
you.
for you.
Got you.
So
Okay.
if you were going to describe your band, what would you?
You said industrial type.
Industrial
rock.
goth.
It's electronic industrial.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's got there's a lot more edges, and I think in about another 6 months it'll have some more slashes or commas behind it.
All right.
Now you're the guitar player.
Yeah.
So how's that for? How fun is that? I've got a chance to play with stuff like
I mean,
that.
I grew up in metal, playing for metal bands and what have you. Kind of touched on it with I was in Cyber Tribe and kind of touched on it. Good friends of ours. Anyways, we moved on, started working with Doc Colony here. It is it's a little different, but I found it as I get older, I enjoy it a little more. As far as the writing aspect of it, lets me expand a little more. So I'm really digging it. You know, it's good. Playing behind a track, that's much different, but I keep tugging on Doc's collar here. We got a bass player now, so
it's coming up,
and we're working with the drummer too.
See that, and that's going to be awesome.
And collaborate all of that with the electronic. I'm excited about it. It's new ground.
It's funny because you see like Bass Nectar and that other DJ that's just big as fuck right now that goes. What's that dude with the glasses?
Skrillex.
Thank you. I'm stoned. Anyway, dude, fucking used to be metalheads.
Right.
You know,
and you notice that bringing Vandl in with the electronic, or anytime you put guitar with electronic music, you get a harder edge thing. You get more of a Rob Zombie thing. I'm just using names here.
You're connecting more with the people out there.
You are. You're giving it another texture. You're used to that guitar. You're used to that beat. So you can play more rooms. Is what you really find out.
We got to wrap it up.
You can play electronic. Well, thank you guys.
Reloaded City Club.
Reloaded City Club. Come on down to
next
Detroit.
Generation of
Big
Friday.
times, good times on the way.
And don't forget to send me all your information so we can put it out there.
Well, appreciate you guys coming out, helping us out too.
No, we enjoyed it.
Thank you for having us, man. It's always good. I want to get out there more. So, mad love to Doc Colony and the crew. And we want to say from here at Raw Radio X, good night.
Good night.
Peace out. Sweet dreams. Hope they ain't too wet.
And next Monday night, 5 o'clock, Razor Ray and Dani Cakes. Minus Dirk, most likely. But you can get your full dose of Dirk and McHayton and Culture Vultures Random Access Talk Thursday nights, 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock, Raw Radio X plus CultureVultures.com for all the podcasts.
All right.
Good night.
Plug. Get your shit plugged. Get your shit plugged. This is Psycho Stick because boobs.
Because boobs.
Boobs are awesome.
Here? Yeah, but your boobs are down there. Be in my face, so bring them over to my place. Guys know what it's all about. Victoria, your secret's out.